wrapper in ecosystem that can be used for the data warehousing based on the header. So, are you familiar with the Linux and Unix system?
Yeah,
And Java also?
I have some courses with C
okay.
and C++, C#.
Topic. Yes. You are electrical engineer.
Right. So, and I'm studying electrical engineering. Reason I took this course because I'm interested in data system that is happening for Facebook and systems. And I have some experience in Java. Yes. That's it.
So I don't think that we can directly use the Facebook data or social media data in our the exercise lab. However, in your project, definitely based on my experience on the last year, some of the students use the social media data for their big data project. So that's because that's one of the reasons why we need the big data system. So social media data is very, very critical and a hard issue. So whether we can use the big data system to process the Facebook data or the social media data.
Is there any data benchmarks available for social media that we can use?
You mean the data set?
Yeah, that's it.
Some of them are available, but not easy because of the privacy. But Twitter data are available. Yes, you can download from the existing paper. Okay, data benchmark the data set.
Okay.
But the Facebook data not easy. That's one of the big problems.
Facebook, because it's a privacy.
Yes.
Privacy.
You need to
Yeah.
know all the username and password. Even though you know the username and password, they sometimes block to download certain message or the certain information. Okay. Good. Jancy, Kota?
Hi, I'm Chancy. I'm doing my master's in computer science. I'm not good at coding and programming, but
Neither
I'm interested in the data mining and data web, so I chose this. I'm not familiar with the Linux, but I know basics of the Java.
So, which means this time is good for you to catch up the course programming and Unix. So during the regular semester, not easy because you have a couple of other courses. Okay, so this is a good time to know how to use the Linux or the Unix environment as well as Java program. Okay. And Brawler, yes, sir.
Master students in computer science. The reason why I took this course is to in future I would like to work on big data systems.
Come to what?
Big data systems.
Big data.
I'm familiar with C# and Java. So I don't have anything Unix.
Okay. Are you working or any ongoing project you have? No? Any?
Hi, my name is Anil. I'm a master's student in computer science. I've done database design course under Professor Lee last semester. It's great. So that was the first basic step for my interest in taking this course in the summer. I got a little hands-on experience with C++, but not with Java much. So I belong to the second category, like you said, Professor. Need to work hard.
Okay. Okay.
And then the big data system is like the hot, it's like one of the most popular careers over now in the market. That was also one of the interests that made me try crazy to go for this.
Okay, good. And Yang Wei?
This semester I learned Java for a long time, for Linux just a little bit. Yeah. So for this course I just ended. Because last year I only took half course for big data, so I'm very interested in all this one. Maybe in the future I will be doing this work.
And Z?
I'm for 3 years in the sales department, so I use the CRM every day.
Okay.
It's kind of big data system, so I want to learn more about it and how it works. And I'm familiar with C++ and C and multiple languages.
Actually, BI, business intelligence, and the CRM is closely right now. They are the ultimate goal of the data warehousing. And it's the same in the big data system. So using the big data system, we need to do something. That is I think the enhanced version of CRM. Okay? CRM is kind of the static information customer relationship management, but we'd like to proactive to approach the customer, like we guess whether he, by analyzing the Facebook data, he may like my product. Okay? Then target on that customer and approach and sell the product. That is the core of the big data system. So nothing. So as I guess, the problem of this course is you need to have some prerequisite and background in this part. So I don't expect all of my students will be expertise on this system or the programming, but at least you need to know such a basic, especially for the Linux and Linux environment, you need to know what is the shell, okay? And also, what is the basic command of the shell programming. Just like have you ever used the MS-DOS? A long time ago, there's a command like the dir, it's the same thing. You can just learn what is the command, each command are possible to see. You try to see what's going on in your system, like this one. So you can learn the basic command as well as the VI. Okay, it's an editor. The VI editor. There's an alternative way to walk around in case you do not know how to use the VI, but I strongly suggest because you have a time to before we start the exercise lab. Another one is Java. So you don't have to purchase the new group for Java. Just go to the website and using Google, there are a bunch of the available research. What is the Java and how to learn, how to code, and how to compile the Java. That's pretty much enough. Okay. Okay. So probably next week or the week after, I'm going to form a group by 2. We have the 12 students. I'd like to form a group by 2 based on your experience and skill. Okay, I'm not going to assign 2 PhD students as a group, but we'll consider your major interest and skill. Then we will have the 6th group. So then each group select a project topic. For example, I'd like to implement a fraud detection using the network data. So if you can, because a couple of students are doing the research on similar thing, or so if you are interested in recommendation system, recommender like the Netflix. Actually, several years ago, Netflix opened the problem for public. So if you can increase the 10% of the accuracy of the recommendation system from the Netflix, they award the $1 million, something like that. At that time, so they provide the benchmarking data, sample data for the Netflix recommendation system. At that time, you can use such a recommendation, implement a recommendation system, or the healthcare, or any other that you are interested in, like for example CRM. So you will form a team and decide the topic and design the big data system. While you are learning the big data system, especially the Hadoop and MapReduce programming, at the final stage you will implement your project based on the Hadoop and MapReduce. That's what I'm thinking right now. So why don't you think about just brainstorming what you can do in this short semester. Okay, you do not have enough, and this is not regular course. You may have the 3 or 4 weeks to fully implement such a program. So we will talk about this one program next week. So let's start today's lecture. What is this? So IBM mainframe. Don't think this is a mainframe computer. It's a either XT, AT. Have you ever heard about this? It's AT. And what is this? It's a Apple computer. It's old, very old. When? It's 1983 when I used the first time the computer. So that, fortunately, I got this one 1984. So 83 I used that, and was the commercialized.
It was the hard disk size.
Yes. So that's what I'm talking about today. So can you expect what is the size of a hard disk drive?
2 mega. 2 mega.
Less than megabyte. Really? 2 boot up at that time. Actually, there's not much enough space for your operating system. Even memory is not big enough. You need to actually use a floppy disk to start your operating system. Okay? However, it was very, very expensive. So at that time, so almost more than higher $2,000 at that time, which means it's almost a yearly salary, 1984. But fortunately, I got one of these. I don't know why my father gave me such a thing, but at that time, I learned the programming. At that time, it's a GW Basic, basic program language, and the programming contest. So I got the second prize. So almost I got the award for the prize of this computer. At the time, I implement this kind of Angry Bird. Really. So this is my interface. It's randomly create the mountain, and there's a cannon, and there's a target. So user specify the angle and power, then draw the curve. So in this case, it's successful. And like this one. So it's old fashion of the Angry Bird. I should have focused on that program at the time. So this is my first time. At the time, even megabyte size, the hard disk drive memory is not big enough. So when I purchased the 2 megabyte size hard disk drive, so big enough to keep everything in. Really. Then, when I joined the IT department as my first job, for example, that was the 1996, 97. At that time, Windows 95 was released the first time. So Windows 95, there is no way to keep such a big operating system. So Microsoft actually provides 35 floppy disk drive for their operating system. It's also not enough space in my hard disk drive. So at the time, my manager purchased 128 megabyte hard disk drive, which is the most expensive the hard disk drive at the time. So several $100 the hard disk drive. Then also it was a 95 and 97. At the time, so you know the downsides. What is the downsizing? What is the downside? Who took my course, the database? Well, I explained a couple of times in my class. What is the downside? Downsides, right? Shrinking what?
Data size.
Data size? As who said the mainframe? The mainframe. Actually, the first time when we had the enterprise level, the infrastructure, it is centralized system, such as mainframe, which means it has everything. Okay. So interface, server, hard disk drive, and the program running on the same machine. It's a mainframe. It's good for security, right? Because you don't have to worry about the network, just using the dummy terminal, you can connect the server. There's no way to pick up the information unless you can program the system using dummy terminal. There's no network, but the main problem of such a centralized system is what?
Depends on one thing. If it crashes, it crashes. Something crashes, the whole thing. If something fails, the whole thing.
Can you bind up with
This is good for 100 pages. What if we have 200 pages? There's no scatter,
No, that's good.
right? So we need to migrate this system to just the big system. Very, very expensive, costly, also very hard to migrate the system. So we need to solve this problem. That is the downsizing. Downsizing means downsize what? Server job.
Oh,
How?
decentralized.
Because of network and what? Personal computing power.
Terminals.
Okay, at the time, the early 90s, the network power is varying, the bandwidth is getting wide, and also personal computing power is cheap and powerful. So we can take out some of the job to the PC client. That is client and server environment. That is called downsizing. At that time, data are very important. So people are focusing at the time. People and IT department focus on the how to keep the data. So we can use a relational database for management system like the Oracle Informix DB2. Also for hardware. Hard disk drive itself is not good enough. We need some real data or some memory in this. So we need hard disk drive box, like the EMC. Okay. So at the time we decide to purchase such a hard disk drive box. Okay. That is 72 gigabyte size. You know how much it was that at the time? 1997 for 37 gigabyte storage box to be the SAN. It's a very early stage of the SAN, storage area network.
It was a problem of size at that time.
The 72 gigabyte. How much?
1,000.
1,000 bucks?
2,000.
10,000?
2 million.
$300,000 in 1990. We paid the $300,000 only for 72 gigabyte. Even we cannot use the 72 gigabyte, only half. Why?
Because of existing data.
Literally, 36. So only for 36, it was the 300,000. So 10 times of the salary. Yearly salary.
So big data wasn't an issue, but
So
there was no big.
what I am saying is, it's a big data at the time.
Because it's hard to compute the
Yes,
process.
even when we have the 2 megabyte size of operating system, it's a big data for this.
Because it's hard to process it.
Nowadays, what about the nowadays? How big is that? So 1 terabyte. So I think even the laptop, personal laptop, it has 1 terabyte size.
Right.
Okay, so everybody has at least 1 terabyte size data. And how many people? So very huge, big the amount of the data. That's the main topic of this course. So we are going to discuss about such a huge amount of the data, big data, in this class in terms of what? Computer science. Okay? It's a computer. What is a computer science, by the way? What's the difference from electrical engineering? Well, computer engineering. So, except here, electrical engineering, except the computer engineering, all the others are computer sciences. What is a computer science?
Focus on the software.
Software?
Yeah.
Even electrical engineering has the software.
Yeah, that's for the non-software.
Advanced software, they are using the low-end
No, it's like
optimizing.
Yeah.
Even electrical engineering focusing on optimizing like the signal processing. Even computer engineering for hardware design, definitely optimize the design, right? Then what is the main part? What's the main difference between engineering and computers?
It's developing the rules and
Rules?
yeah.
It's getting close. If you already took my course, you probably heard about the answer.
For engineering, they don't have to worry about the details because they are using computer science as a tool. But for us,
Even computer engineering, if you design the semiconductor, very, very detailed. Even electrical engineering has such a thing. What's the main difference? Algorithm, yes. It's getting close.
They close on the hardware. As a computer scientist, we close on the software optimizing algorithms.
What about the core course in computer science? What is the core courses? Operating system, database, network. Network requires some electrical engineering and hardware. And algorithm and computer architecture.
Data structure.
Data structure. That's the answer. The main difference is the data structure. What is the data structure?
Like arrays.
How to organize the data? What is it? It's actually 0 or 1, right? There's no other way to represent the data or information. It's called the digitized data. Okay, 0 or 1. Then can you say when you have the 0 or 1, that is a computer? That is the computer science? No. We need to organize. 0 series of group of 0 or series of group of 1. Organize such a data. That is called algorithm sometimes. That is called the formatting data or that is organized data. The main part, main difference from other subject for computer science is data structure. So to deal with big data, we should consider different data structure. If we are using the same structure as the relational database or traditional way, definitely we will be fail. Okay? So that's our main focus. How to organize the big data. Okay? Then how to process. Then using such a system, such an organization, what we can do, that is kind of data analytics. It's an application part.
so can we call the data unstructured and structured data?
That's different story. That's for the data itself.
The data itself is
So first we are going to focus on the data structure
now
for the system. Okay? How to organize. If we organize the data just like a relational database, it's not much different.
Yeah.
It would be fair to handle such a
big
big
data.
data.
Yes.
Okay? Yes.
So we can consider big data like a new data structure.
So new data structure, yes. So by considering such a new data structure, we will have, for example, Hadoop system. Okay, some slide. So we will see such a thing. So this is old-fashioned, but nowadays it's a getting increased. So nowadays the personal, each individual may have a terabyte, and many of the company has a petabyte size data, and a few company deal with exabyte, not much exabyte, and 100, 1,000 petabyte. like the Facebook, YouTube, and Google, they have. But there are many companies who has the more than petabyte size. And traditional system can handle up to the several petabytes size data, including Oracle or Informix or data or warehousing system. They can, but not much exabyte. And what about the zettabyte size? What is a zettabyte? I never heard until I offered the discourse. Can you imagine how big is that? So logically, it's 1,000 of petabyte size data. Even I cannot imagine how much big the petabyte size data. Terabyte, yes, I can imagine. So based on the terabyte, 1,000 of 1,000, which means it's a billion of terabyte. So which means if we give the 1 terabyte size hard disk drive individual for everybody in the world and collect, it's huge. So somebody, this one. This is the petabyte. If you cannot imagine how big is that, it's 1,000 of your PC. Okay? It's 1,000 of your PC. Then this is the zettabyte. But problem is, we will see such a zettabyte size data. We need to deal with such a huge size of the data near us. For example, if we collect all the data, any kind of digitized data worldwide, in 2011, it's around 2 zettabytes. Okay? Then, many people expect it will be double every other year. Okay? So which means 2013 is around 4 zettabyte, and 2015 is just next year. It's 8 zettabyte. And it will be double every other year, but it's not linear, sometimes it's exponential. The reason is that, think about your cell phone, smartphone. So every time you take a photo for your kid or your wife or the husband, and also video even, and upload, and also copy every time. So probably you will download the PDF file when you return to your home, right? So it's growing. They are growing much faster. So we need to have different data structure to deal with the zettabyte error. Okay, nowadays it's a zettabyte the error. Okay? Still I cannot imagine how big is it. Terabyte, yes, I can do that. Even petabyte, not quite imagine. So it's a zettabyte. So, what kind of data we can see? For example, web pages. Google has. Do you know how the Google search engine system is working? How?
When you make a search, first 3 search queries will be given.
Before that, before you search the data, how Google search engine is made? Ranking. Before that. It's actually very simple. Google copy all the web page and store their site and then search the text data. That's it. But when you have such a 10 petabyte size, it's a 40 times 10 to the power of 9 web pages, too many web pages. So to speed up search, what you guys need to do at the time? Index. The basic idea of basic index of such a search engine is inverted index. So we do not discuss, but you will test inverted index, one of the exercise like that. Okay. So anyway, this is one of the examples. So Google actually the first company who initiate the big data system. Like this GFS, Google File System. Basically, big data system consists of 2 parts. File first time. They need to solve that in early 2000. So we will see details. What about the YouTube? YouTube also. How many of you are using the YouTube? I am. So he will upload the lecture video to YouTube actually. This video will be available. What's the size? For each hour, around the 2 gigabyte size. And Google need to process to shrink the size, even though they shrink the size, compact the size, using the compression technique, but still it's a huge, so several petabytes a year. Okay? And it will be larger and larger every year. Okay? And as you can see, there are many other research sources to generate such a huge amount of the data. Which means for your project, you have a lot of opportunity. Right? Think about the creativity. So about the first thing you need to do is whether you can find such a data that can provide the opportunity to use the big data system. So today we will talk about what is the big data. From time to time I introduce a little bit part of that. We will compile to define what is the big data. And definitely there may be a problem in traditional system. If there is no problem, we don't have to worry about it. We can just use the traditional system. Then, how to address such a problem? In other words, what's the requirement of the new approach to deal with such a big data? There were some techniques that can handle such big data, such as cloud computing. Okay? For example, Amazon Web Service provide the cloud computing environment for big data systems. So you don't have to purchase the computer or set up, just click, then it's the head of big data system. Just use it. Oh, the new approach for big data system is one of the popular one is Hadoop, which we are going to use throughout the semester. And Hadoop and ecosystem. When you say ecosystem, we will learn. And using this, the idea of the big data, what's the benefit of the big data system? What are the possible opportunities based using the big data system? For example, big data analysis. We will see such a big thing. And after the 5-minute break, we will continue.